Welcome to Return Health and Wellness. This course is to help you understand the Return to Work program aligned with COIDA framework that is required. This program will help you to implement the necessary paperwork, processes, toolkits, information, and strategies to assist your Return to Work program. With the Return to Work program, there is, interesting enough, different paths that the employer can take. And that includes just implementing a framework and communicate with your managers and supervisors. This is what we're doing. And hopefully they follow that. Or you can have a process document and implement that with forms and next steps and somewhat overcome barriers with a process in place for your managers, HR, LR, and supervisors. And thirdly, you can implement a return to work program that is a disability management system in order to have all the employee information, step-by-step guidance, timelines, help with overcoming barriers for anyone who is using the program, with even if they have little knowledge, and keep all this information in a software system for your COIDA timelines and recommendations, and in order to prove that you have a program in place. And that is the difference with Return to Work Health and Wellness. We can assist you with all three ways, cheap options, a little bit of policies and procedures in place, or an actual program. And this course will help you understand the benefits of a program, your options in having a program, and the required framework so that you can help yourself set up a program if that's what you're going to start with. However, let's proceed. Depending on the industry that you work in, Return to Work framework looks the same. However, if you are safety sensitive or safety critical industries, there might be more complex medical information that is required. However, this is a baseline for employers to implement a return to work program. And from here, you can develop it as far as you want, integrate as many policies and procedures as you wish, and make it as complex or as easy depending on the industry that you are. We consultants have over 15 years experience within many industries, including retail, railway, flights, airports, warehousing, distribution, mining, oil and gas. So many industries that use this framework and is very successful in implementing a return to work. So it does not matter if you're a large company or a small company. This is the baseline that you can work from, no matter which industry you're from. So during the course, we will do some case studies, and depending on the industries that is joining us, it will be relevant case studies to your industry for your understanding, so that you can build that knowledge, that muscle memory on how to manage specific return to work files to overcome barriers and eventually save cost. My name is Yura Savage. I am a South African Canadian. I've worked in the industry for 15 years, building and managing claims and frameworks and policies and procedures. I truly believe that in order to have a meaningful life, you have to work and be productive. And that is why return to work after an injury is so important, because it's very easy to give up. It's very easy for employers to minimize the injury or not understand what this employee needs in order to be successful. And without employers, we don't have income, we don't have work, we don't have dreams. So it's important to look after the employer's cost, productivity, and operational needs. And that is why this program is focused on employer focused, implementing some wellness strategies, but it is mainly focused on employers how to manage the return to work process. So everyone is talking about wellness in the workplace, and wellness is the foundation of a good return to work. It is important to have open communication with the employee to understand their barriers. Looking at the statistics, it is not looking good. Many people are coming to work with psychosocial problems. That could be at home, that could be personal issues, workplace issues, stress and anxiety, mental health issues, which impacts the workplace. And the return to work program helps with those barriers as well. It is important for the supervisors and managers to understand that people have problems, people struggle. And once an occupational injury occurs, those secondary problems is what could prolong the absence. So it is important to keep that in mind, because with long-term absence is rising cost. What is cost? Well, cost could mean many things. First of all, we can look at loss of productivity. Loss of productivity is when someone is present at work, but not doing their full and meaningful duties, not completing tasks, not being productive. And that is something that could be costly to the employer. Indirect productivity losses, when they are not mentally or physically capable of doing a good job. Long-term productivity losses is when someone completed training, for instance, but unable to use their skill set. And now there's occupational injury. Unable to failure to follow. And now there's an injury. It's very important to remember that this indirect cost affects the business, which is part of a wellness strategy in order to understand how to overcome those barriers and support the employee. Once an occupational injury occurs, there is a loss of cost to the worker as well. Fortunately, COIDA is offering 75% loss of wages so that the employee is able to continue with their life, paying their bills, have medical cost, which is covered by COIDA and by the employer eventually, and also job security in order to feel that they are protected, that they can focus on the recovery. And the cost could be significant to employee if they're not able to continue to work. It is proven that the loss of wages have a huge impact on a person's mentally livelihood. Therefore, the cost that COIDA is supporting employees with is significant, and it is a good thing. It does help the employee to mitigate those loss of wages, focus on their treatment, get better, and return to work as soon as possible with modified or gradual return to work planning. So COIDA, or the Workers' Compensation Fund, is really a, a product, a program that you should work with closely, understand, and overcome those obstacles in order to help the employee back to work so that you can mitigate your cost as well. So ultimately, the motivation to implement a return to work program is cost saving and to avoid penalties. So, what does cost saving look like? First of all, faster recovery times for the employee, lower COIDA claim cost, reduce absenteeism, improve productivity, better employee morale, lower turnover, and reduce legal and compliance risk. So there is many reasons to implement a return to work program. Thank you for joining me. We will meet instructor-led training on our confirmed date, and looking forward to working with you.